Are we good?
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the Unfiltered Kitchen with your host, Kyle. That's me, a.k.a. Papa Floyd. And
I'm joining today. My name is Kyle Lynn. I'm the other Kyle.
yeah, that's R. That's R. So here's the deal.
Today is the Kyle show.
Oh, it's going to be your show.
No, it's...
Oh, the Kyle show. Okay,
oh my
okay.
gosh. Kyle
Actually, the R. Kyle show.
Oh, yeah, because you're R. Kyle, too.
I'm R. Kyle also.
Maybe we could talk about our names.
I mean, that's a lot we can talk about. So actually, today we're actually recording on October 1st. And the reason that Chey is not here is because a year ago, plus 2 days, she got married to Zachary Davis. Mm-hmm. Their newlywed year is over. Okay, but they were...
Their first year, they made
their first year. So, on the 29th, they were out celebrating.
Yeah.
So...
They are still honeymooning.
Yeah, they're still honeymooning. Yeah, but the newlywed is officially over now.
Aww.
So,
Woo! What do you guys normally... how do you guys normally do the show?
So normally we have a topic, and I put out a couple questions, told them that you were going to be the guest speaker or the guest in here.
Yes.
And we were going to let you answer 90% of the questions and, see how you steer our audience. We usually either talk about something or we may... Well, the last couple of weeks, we've talked about parenting skills.
Okay.
Parenting styles.
Okay.
Parenting skills.
Okay.
We talked about spanking.
Okay.
Do you or do you not? Or is it even legal anymore?
What'd you guys say?
I say kick that ass.
Okay. That's different from my approach.
I know your approach is...
It's very different.
Timeouts and all that. And I'm like, okay. But, it's a different world. It's,
yeah.
Well, okay. On a serious note, well, we did talk about it a little bit seriously and talked about the pros and cons of it, and basically came up with, look, it doesn't work for all kids.
No.
So you got to find something different. And today is a different day. It's not that, when I grew up, it was the day of the switch.
Yeah,
fact,
I know.
Go pick your own switch.
I tried spanking Boz, and I didn't want to spank from the start, and I did do it just because everybody was like, it's a boy. You got to do it different with the boys. You got to put your bluff in or spank them. The spankings don't work for him and for the two of us. For me personally.
How many times have you spanked him?
Okay. At least a handful. No, Boz has got he's got him popped. He's got
him
popped.
It's different in a pop and a spank.
No. Boz has got I've never gotten a belt and spanked him or with an object or anything.
Well,
that's
belt works
crazy.
That's not crazy.
To me, that is crazy.
Okay, so you've never really spanked him.
No, I'm not, and I don't plan on. I don't want to.
That's why I said it was a zero.
Whatever. Nurturing parenting over here.
Nurturing. Nothing wrong with nurturing. It's fine.
So I actually got a certification in a parenting education class in nurturing parenting.
Okay.
And I did it for myself because I knew I needed help in terms of how am I going to discipline my child if I'm not going to go this route of spanking.
Yeah.
People don't actually... some other
tools.
Yeah, people don't actually tell you what to do. They're just spank that kid. I'm spank him and what? I'm that doesn't help the situation. That's not you talking to your kid and explaining what happened.
Okay, so I'm going to back up a little bit on spanking. Okay?
Yes.
Now, I do not suggest you get mad at something your child does and you just go in there and you start wailing away.
No.
Okay. The way a good spanking is when you sit down, you talk to them.
Now I'm going to spank you.
You tell them what it is that they did wrong. Yes. And you've got to explain how you have told them about this before and they just didn't listen. Mm-hmm. So now you're spanking them to get their attention, to get them to listen. Okay. It's not first time
ways to get their attention.
Well, sure there is, but I'm explaining the spanking though. This real quick because I don't want anybody to think you just haul in there and start swinging. Talking about,
Some people do. Some people don't have boundaries or have enough self-control or patience to know not to do that on their kids. Yes. And it's a lot of times parents, whether you think, I'm not going to spank my kids or not, you might get triggered and go off on your kid.
So
going.
It's
I have seen that where people who are oh no, I'm not going to do this, but it's they don't have other tools.
Yeah. So it's nice. You took the class. They gave you tools.
Yeah. It gave me a lot of tools. I actually have an 80 course, an 80 session program that I can run with people. And it's all evidence-based information. Mm-hmm. We've really been working with like a discipline, within our discipline, like a reward and consequences. And now that he's back in school, it's really great. I'm really happy because Boz has a male teacher.
Okay.
He has a Black male teacher, and from whenever Boz starts school, that's one of the first things I ask, or I like inquire about, what is your disciplinary plan, like your plan of action in the classroom. Mm-hmm. Like, what you gonna do when these kids act up? Because we know they're gonna act up. And he has like a color-coded chart.
You mean you asked the teacher about this as a parent?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's a good question.
Every teacher Boz has ever had. Even when I was first looking, when Boz was 2 and I was looking for
how do they
schools,
handle discipline?
How do you handle, what are your disciplinary actions? Because it's like, I don't like timeouts the same. Like, I'm one of those people where it's like, I feel like you can give a child consequences or a form of punishment without like completely ostracizing or humiliating or like alienating them at such a young age.
And that's that sit in the corner.
I don't like that. For me personally, that's just my personal belief, my opinion, because those little things your brain is still developing, and those factors contribute to your brain development. Okay. And a lot of those factors are things that parents or, other people don't always see because it's going on in here or within the bodies. So yeah, that's just a question that I tend to ask.
So what's the best answer that you've got from the different teachers, professionals,
like the teacher that I have right now. He has a color-coded chart, and you have your colors within the day, and it's like there's like purple, blue, green, then it's like red, orange, yellow,
which represent
different. I'll show it to you, but it's like the purple is the highest, so it's like that's
the highest level of highest behavior.
Yes, it's like a behavior chart. So it's like if you've got to get a call home, or if the teacher had to do some, like, you're distracting the class, or there's like different levels to it. Got it. And there's different levels within like the higher level, the good levels too. Okay. So, which I like. It's not just like, oh, hey, you're good or bad, but it's like, here is a scale to where you can like, there's like a spectrum that you can always continue to work on. Okay. So it's not like, oh, hey, I got this green when I'm good, but it's like, oh, wait, I can continue to strive to be a better student and be a better listener or be a better friend. And I can get to that blue one. Oh, hey, if I do that and I'm really good in class and I'm listening and I'm good at circle time and I was really good at lunchtime and I was a good player, I can get on purple. So it's like, to me, it just gives a little bit more incentive to like encourage the students to want to be good. Because there's times where Boz will be like, Mom, so-and-so today, they were on yellow. They did not want to listen in class today. And it was distracting.
How does Boz do in terms of the color chart?
Boz is purple, blue, and green.
Boz is a good.
Boz is good. With me,
Boz is good.
Boz is very strong-willed, and he likes to challenge me because he knows how to push my buttons.
He runs you over.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then there's times where he's very receptive, and he's like, "Okay, Mom, I know." Like,
I know I've seen that too. I've seen that too.
I do know better. Yeah. And another thing is like some of the commands that I have, I feel weird saying commands, but like they are commands for Boz, rather than like when I yell at my kid, or I'm like not yelling at him, but like for him. Some of the commands I have from him are in different languages. So I just don't sound like I'm like that, like, Mom. And he's responsible for that.
Different languages.
So like kids, like some of the things I like, we use Italian words. Even so like stop, just so he knows it's me versus someone else. Like there are things where like there's certain signs that we know, or like I've taught him. So like we're in the same room and he's doing something crazy and I see this, he's like, oh, I know I need to stop.
Oh, I need to cool out.
I need to stop.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's to the point where even like Zaire and Ace now will be like, basta boss, basta boss. Like Ryder now yells basta, and it's
basta?
Like basta.
But
this is stop in sign language.
Okay. Nice.
From my knowledge, if I'm incorrect, I will please let me know. But this is stop, and then I'll do it with basta or para. Para for Ace because he hears more Spanish, and then with
I thought it was alto.
So there's 2 words for stop.
Okay.
There's like what is it, parar, which is like the verb to stop. And then alto's just like for the stop sign.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, Boston. So there's like, other little words or like phrases.
A lot of things going on. Got sign language going on. Got languages going on. No, those are all good. It's beautiful.
But it's
Look, I advocate to anybody out there that's raising kids, make them bilingual, at the very least bilingual.
And that's
okay. If you can get them to 3 or 4 languages,
which is my goal.
The more languages they speak, the more in terms of marketability, their stock just goes way up. I mean, simply because they can communicate.
Not their marketability and their stock goes up.
Well, I'm just saying.
I understand what you're saying. It's just such a weird way to describe it when like
we are all raising our kids so that they can be productive members of society.
Yes, I want my children to be able to travel and speak freely and communicate.
You want them to be able to earn
the messengers that I see them in life, or like the positions that I see them being in. Yeah. I would like them to be able to communicate with many people in their language, to unite and like bring people together. I love language. I've always been a fan.
Yeah, I'm terrible at it.
A fan of languages. Yeah. Yes, I definitely am one of those moms who's like, or just people, I'm like, I'm going to have a multilingual household, and that's just what it is, period. Like, each kid there'll be like a household language that we learn together, but then it's like when they get older, it's like, what's your language going to be? Mm-hmm. Where do you want to focus? So parenting is fun. I'm like, what else do you guys talk about besides parenting? I want to talk about something besides parenting. All I do right now is parent.
Yeah. Hey, okay. We're parenting alone for a minute. Last week we were talking about, my mantra, it's not a problem unless you make it one.
Okay.
And got a lot of comments back on that. Some folk really understand. One person, she actually explained it. Maybe I should go and read her
it's not a problem unless you make it one. And that's just, it's how I feel like for me, yes, it could still be an issue and it be a problem, but it's all about how the way you respond or choose to respond or react, or how you let it affect you.
I'm actually going to try to find it real quick. Keep talking. Because this, I first heard this when I was about 17. Mm-hmm. It probably took me till I was 25 to really, truly understand it, to put it into practice on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. And the more I put it in practice, the more it becomes part of my personality. Yeah.
And I think that's actually really important. And I think it's a good one because now that I'm older, I am now understanding that life's all the time. Like, life is always lifing. Like, there's always going to be those hard days. There's always going to be those hard moments, challenging moments. But like you said, it's not a problem unless you make it one.
Now, see, some people didn't get it. Like, I had one person who was challenging it and basically said, well, what if you, excuse me, what if your children or your grandchildren are abducted? Mm-hmm. Can you still say it's not a problem unless you make it one? Well, you got to understand,
Of course, there's always going to be places and spaces in life where things don't apply. But as a general, broad, I think,
let me try to sum up what this person said. They said that it is not to say that if you follow it like I do, that you are taking things for light. But what it basically means is you're not letting a situation box you in a corner where you're going to stay there and be in a state of either sadness or disappointment or anger or uncertainty. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I feel like that was me this summer. Like, I came home, if you guys listen to the Think Loud Crew podcast, I shared my story about when I first came home from DC this last trip, and after I did therapy sessions, I realized, or the therapist told me that I was in a domestic violent relationship or situation. And that was a lot for me to just like comprehend. Because I think when you think domestic violence, you automatically think physical, just straight physical abuse. You don't always take in consideration the mental, emotional, and financial abuse that comes, that can come in it as well. So for me, when I came home and I started to have to really process all this stuff, like, I could have really, really gone low and just kind of, I feel like, checked out mentally. And it could have been a bigger problem. Or, I could have been in that sulky, ruminating state of like, woe is me, or like, oh my gosh, my shit's a mess. But I couldn't. Well, I didn't, I kind of said it, it's not a problem unless I make it one.
We don't really do woe is me in the Floyd house.
We don't have opportunity for that. To be honest, like,
just keep it moving.
You have to keep it moving because
cowboy up.
As my dad likes to say, be a hog.
Be a hog. Well, a hog is a little different. That's when
you're working.
But that's different than not being able to have a pity party. If you're gonna have a pity party in this household, let it last a day, maybe 2.
I don't even get
don't,
a day.
And don't even send it my way. Because I don't respond well. Send it to Mama Sunshine. She can handle pity parties.
No, she can't. There's no time for pity parties. Yeah. We don't have time. I got 2 little people looking at me talking about mom.
That's what I'm saying. You're a mom. Okay? And here's the deal. You got to understand. So this is why you won't get empathy or sympathy
from me.
Keep
it pushing. Even when I didn't have my kids, I never, everyone around me is like, hey, you never took any time this summer to like have a wild out moment or free moment. Like you came, after your kids left, I ended up getting 2 more certifications during that time. Like I was in class all day and I was working and I was like trying to figure out my life.
How's the doula going?
That's done. Yeah.
Are you a doula now?
I am, but I'm currently getting my pre and postnatal fitness certification, and I'm doing a pre and postnatal coaching, pregnancy, like a coaching certification. And why I did those is after I finished the doula one, I realized they don't actually teach you anything about pregnancy or like how to actually help women besides sit here, hold the baby, give her some referrals. Like they don't teach you anything.
Okay, when you say they.
I went through DUNA, which is one of like the largest doula organizations. Okay. It's international. They do the certifications.
But it didn't give you what you felt you needed.
It is very watered down.
Okay.
It is a very, to me.
So it's a money grab.
It is a very whitewashed program where it's disconnected from culture and indigenous practices that teach you how to like balance, rebalance your hormones, abdominal wrapping, like, there's all these different herbs that your body can utilize to help heal internally, help with your breast supply, your breast milk supply, to help with your baby blues. Nothing. So I was like, this shit is a fucking racket. It was crazy. It made me feel like it made me one of the others. Ooh, I just like hit my face. I'm also doing a certification so I could do practice or a holistic form of gynecology using steam. Basically, I'll be able to do like vaginal steaming and whatnot. Why'd you do that? What does that make you feel?
It's not my.
Do you know men's steam as well? It's really good for your prostate.
Steaming my noggles,
your balls,
my balls will make my prostate right.
Your a-hole.
No steam up the a-hole.
Well, it's not literally steaming up the a-hole, but yeah, you can steam your male area, and it helps with your prostate.
Okay. we're gonna have to Google that one. Okay.
I'll send you some steaming information.
All right, you send me some steaming information.
Yeah. But I'm doing all this stuff because after.
Never tell you about the time I first got my prostate checked?
Did they stick 1 or 2 fingers up? Do they stick a finger in your butthole? Is that?
Let me tell you the story. I go to get a physical. I'm probably 40, maybe 45.
Was this the first time?
This was the first time. I had no idea what was going on.
Actually, I don't feel bad because you were 40. I've been getting poked and prodded as a woman. We get pap smears. They shit sitting there, opening up. It's cold.
But see, when that first happens,
let me see what happened.
When that first happens, how young are you when you first getting pap smears?
I don't know.
But was your mother there?
Of course.
Okay, so nobody's there with me.
But you were 40.
Yeah, I know. But still, I had never been.
Did you want someone to go with you?
Well, I didn't know. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know it was. I went to get a physical.
Yeah. Okay. Go back to this. You went to go get a physical.
Put this. Breathe. They do ever since I've been probably in a teenager. They kind of They cuff your nuts and they tell you to cough. What this is telling you, I don't know. I have no idea.
And that's the thing. What are they feeling for?
I have no idea.
Like, is something going to jiggle different? Is it a hard math?
He just coughed.
But to be honest, the more I learn about the medical field, I don't trust none of these doctors. Hey man, look, I do not trust any. Like, I trust some, but they're like a lot of them. I'm like, I don't trust them because I feel bad because there are some things that they went to school for, and everything is like, it's not updated.
Yeah.
It's missing vital information. So I'm like, these people are going into major debt and then going to practice, and then they're like, I don't know how to cure you because I wasn't
taught to our medicine, American medicine, we don't teach cures. We teach Band-Aid. Let's patch it up. Let's keep the patient coming back.
Yeah, these things give me like the heebie-jeebies. Like,
well, I mean, that's the way it is. But look, you got look.
Wait, this is what we're saying about the steaming.
No, I think the people need to know this. You need to understand as a patient or in our American medical society, there are not a whole lot of cures that are given. What are given are temporary remedies. The thing is, if they cure you, now you don't come back. And if you don't come back, they don't make any more money. Okay? Which is different than the old Asian medicine. Old Asian medicine, they used to pay the doctor at the end of the year based on how well they were.
How healthy they kept you.
How many times I didn't have to see you.
But that just because you don't have to see me doesn't mean that I'm not paying for services because there are herbs and this and that. And there's
what I want the audience to recognize is that medicine is not in the business of curing you. Okay, so you have to be aware of this. So when they go and they say, take 2 aspirins and call me in the morning because you have a headache or you have a migraine. Well, that fixes your pain for the minute, but you need to get down to, you need to be the aggressor and find out, well, why am I having this migraine? What is triggering this? I want a real fix.
Yeah.
Not just slapping a Band-Aid on it.
That's part of in the coaching, the pregnancy coaching, certification that I'm doing. They do a lot to help empower and give people the autonomy to like, not only explore these things, but how to ask and how to have like, I'm that ultimate support person who's like, okay, cool. Because I'm not going to ever tell a woman, hey, go pop some aspirin and drink some water, like, and you're good. Yeah. To me, it's like, okay, let's peel back those layers. Let's figure out like what that underlying root is so that we can create some kind of balance in your life versus just a temporary fix. Yeah. So yeah, I'm doing these extra certifications so that I can fill in those gaps. Nice. And then just from my second pregnancy recovery, I was really seeking like preventative care because I knew after I had a kid, I was still working. I was a single parent. I was going to have 2 kids balancing by myself. So I was trying to figure out how to like heal myself and recover so that I wasn't going to have, postpartum the same way that I did with Boz. And with that, I found a woman who actually put the science behind Malaysian techniques, and Malaysia globally has the best benchmarks for pregnancy recovery.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So learned a lot there and just kind of building like my tool case up. Right. And it's like eventually I will be presenting my own kind of program. That could be, there's accessibility in it. So it'll be things that you can do in home yourself with a doula or your partner or a partner or friend. Or there's like full in-home services where we bring someone in from Malaysia. They can be your live-in for like the first 30 days. They help you with the healing, help with the adjusting. So there's different programs, but I do want to take advantage of like my high profile like clients that I can funnel through to help, take those budgets and like pour over into, your everyday people who may not be able to afford the services, but definitely deserve them and need them. So that, and then when I was out in DC, I did a lot of research on how to do like clinical studies So eventually with this stuff, I will be proposing some clinical studies with some doctors that I'm partnering with so that I can like write and like eventually get some of this stuff like mandated or, because there's a whole pregnancy recovery kit.
Right.
That helps with like your hormones.
Mandated is tough.
More well, like not mandated. Suggested methods. Or covered by insurance is the goal. Not mandated. Okay.
Oh, covered by insurance.
I want it to be covered by insurance companies. Yeah. So learning how to go through that whole process.
Okay.
So that's a lot. That's why yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's why I don't have time. It's not a problem unless you make it one. I got bigger fish to fry. Like I have more things going on than I even need going on.
And here's the big thing. Not a problem. You want to complain and you want to bitch and you want to moan. And if it does good, then go ahead. If it does you good, do your thing. If you don't understand it and you want to challenge it, don't even bother to challenge it. Just do whatever you do. Do whatever you do. Okay? But I just tell you, for me, for my world, it works very well because it stops from turning small things into big things, small problems into big problems. It's like, okay, this is small. Let's let this one go. Okay, all right.
I think so. I think it helps put things in perspective too sometimes.
Oh, it very much keeps things in perspective. For me,
because like there's moments where I may be upset and I'm like, you know what, that's not really a big issue. Like, it's not. Like, why am I tripping? Or if I am upset over something, I'm like, okay, what am I really mad at? Or like, what's really bothering me? Or like, what triggered me? It allows me to dig a little deeper versus just, oh, I'm angry or I'm mad, or I'm upset or I'm not getting my way.
Actually, when you get really good at it, you don't even get mad.
No.
Because you understand it's not worth getting mad. It's all about staying in balance and staying grounded, letting the spirit. Okay. I'm gonna confuse this. You have two parts of you. Okay. You have the physical, that we're vessels. Okay? And you have your spiritual.
Yes.
Okay. Now, most times in life, your body is ran by your physical because that's what's more accessible. That's what you see, notice more times than not. Okay. But that physical has limitations that the spiritual does not necessarily have. So there's times when you have to learn. And you can't just snap your finger like bewitching it happens. But if you can learn to let your spiritual be the driver, let that be the front line, and your physical take a backseat. Now you can move and groove through through problems that you think are problems that are no longer problems.
Yeah, there's a different
because you're
level.
Not tackling it from a world perspective or a man. The things we're taught perspective. A lot of these things, your pride or your principle, even pain, everything can go away when you let your spiritual in front and run your world as opposed to the physical.
So one of the questions that you guys put on here, which I think ties into this, is how do you always seem so positive? And I feel like this kind of ties into that. And I feel like for me personally, there was a point in time where I've dealt with depression.
Really good.
Is it? I wish I liked to drink sometimes. Like,
when I drink, when I do this podcast, I like having a sip. During the week, I really don't drink.
Can I taste it? You tried to get me to taste this earlier.
She wouldn't taste it earlier. What it is I drink really good tequilas. Well, I mean. And it's not necessarily expensive.
No, he does drink good tequila, and I do agree because they are good sipping tequilas. I have tried the tequilas he drinks, and they're good.
They're good. They're good. And some of them are a little more expensive than others, but like this one is not an expensive one, but it's really tasty.
This is what I like when I see people buy like niche alcohol or alcohol that isn't like. Yeah. Like the proper ones, I'm like, ooh, I want to talk to that person because they might actually have an opinion on something versus just.
So what I buy is I buy things that are made in small batch.
Yes,
small batch out. Like I don't buy the what's the one that's real popular right now? Casamigos. Okay,
not trying.
That shit is made in $1,000 jugs, big tanks. I don't buy that.
I mean, I guess this is cool. If you like drinking.
I like drinking.
Yeah, that's you and Cheyenne like to drink. I'm not a drinker.
Let's do some of these.
How do you always seem so positive? I wanted to go back because I feel like I really like what you said about when you let your spirit lead versus your physical. Like, yes, I feel like that has helped me with my balance of how do I stay positive, because it allows me to work in like a faith-based or like out of spirit. It's a different
way to run your life.
And it's also like, for me, how do I stay so positive? Like, I see myself as a purposeful person. Like, I have a purpose, and I'm working towards it. And it's like, it's greater than me. And it's not always about me. It's just like, I'm here a vessel, just doing my part and contributing and doing my work. And that makes me happy. And it's like, it fulfills me. And it's, that's how I stay positive. But I really feel like it's not a problem unless you make one really contributes to it, because it's like, I feel like for me, everyone's had their journey. It's all relative to your life. And in my journey, I've had my ups and my downs. I've had my moments of like greatness. I've had my moments of just like pure, just despair, like, but you know what? I'm still going. And like, the older I get and like, the more I embrace myself, or like, the more I embrace myself, that's what comes out. Right, I'm like, this positive positivity stuff.
Read one. Pick one. Pick one and read it. Don't read it ahead of time.
I know, but this one is like, I don't know this was sad. I didn't know what to just say. These are things I'm not good with. So this person said, I'm struggling with still trying to deal with the loss of my mom. It's been a long time and I'm still so sad. Well, first of all, if I were near you, I would ask you if I had consent to give you a hug, because that was the first thing I would do. Mm-hmm. But it's just like, when I see, well, first of all, anything around loss and death is a very awkward thing for me to deal with, because I'm just one of those people, I don't know what to do. And I think I freeze sometimes. Yeah. But it's also like, what if I were friends with this woman, or if I were near her, I would ask her what are things that she enjoyed doing with her mom. And I would, let's go do something. So it's like, I don't want you to struggle with the loss. I want you to still know that you could still like have your mom's spirit within you, like with you, and still like enjoy life. So
yeah, I myself am probably not the right person to tackle that one.
I'm not
because
either.
I look at it differently. But at the same time, I've only lost grandparents. I haven't lost parents.
Yeah, I haven't been in that position.
But at the same time, I don't know. I'm prepared for when my parents leave me, because I know it's inevitable.
Yeah.
I know it's going to happen. And I'm sure she did too. Unless it caught her by surprise.
We all know it's going to happen.
My deal.
But yes, it always catches you by surprise. I feel.
Okay, I'm going to say this, but it's not directed to this question. Mm-hmm. It is more so my whole thoughts on death. Somebody gets cancer, or gets hit by a bus unexpectedly, goes down in a shooting, the airplane goes down. I mean, anyway, you want to pick the death to come.
Yes,
okay? Death is coming.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
It's coming. You gotta understand, I'm gonna die.
I know.
Okay. I'm a drop dead die. When I die, it shouldn't rock your world at all.
I really hope I hope I'm there when you're old and it's.
Well, the thing is, whether I be old or whether I die on the way home tonight, okay? The thing is this, I was going to die, so don't let it beat you up that I'm now dead.
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying go do something that will make you happy, that maybe like you and your mom would do. I can only say this because I've gone through with a person that I'm close to.
Their father passed, and sometimes they just say, I miss him. I just miss him. And I try to tell them, well, do you remember him? Well, do you tell me a memory that you really enjoy? Yeah. Now, if you can pull up these memories, if you can still have these visions of times with that person, then why do you feel you miss them? You can still
you have things to like live with and hold on to. That's kind of how I feel.
I mean, it'd be a whole lot different if somebody never knew their mom. Then I can understand a hole being there. You know, just a void.
Like a very big unknown. Yes.
But if you live the life with the person and now the person is gone, okay, my condolences. I understand. I can't say that I understand because maybe I don't because I haven't lost my parents. It might be different. But I think that look, my parents are getting older. I'm 63. So, you know, my parents are in their upper 80s. So, and the average lifespan isn't much longer than where they are. Okay. So I'm fully ready for that day. Or I expect that. I know the day is coming.
You know what it is? I think it's just when it happens, it'll be a sense of peace versus just like...
No, I don't think it's a sense of peace.
Not peace, but like rather than just like this... Okay, is it going to hurt? Yes, you want your parents, period. When I say peace,
you're going to miss the fact that you can't go and sit up and just visit with them.
When I say peace, not that it's like, oh, I'm at peace, this person has passed. Like,
well, if they're in pain...
If they're in pain, yes.
If they're going through something and they're in pain, I bless the death.
What I mean is like I experience my parents, you experience your parents. Like to this day, you still interact and deal with your parents. Mm-hmm. So it's like there's a sense of, when I say peace, it's like because you guys have dealt with each other. You guys have been involved in each other's lives. Yeah. Like it's like you said, there's not going to be some unknown, to the young lady, you know?
To pull on her memories.
Yeah. Pull on your memories, yes.
Pull on your memories. Remember the good stuff.
But
remember
it's also,
the great times.
For me, if you're really struggling, it's okay to seek some grief counseling.
Yeah, that's true too.
Like, I feel like there's a lot of times where people couldn't get counseling and they just don't think about it or may not think it applies to them or they just don't know. Yeah. But I feel like grief counseling is great and it's, you know, all ages. Different circumstances.
I gave you grief counseling.
No, not from him.
It ain't a problem unless you make it one. Okay.
God.
I mean, you know.
Wow. Okay. Someone said, how are me and Mez? He's in DC. I'm in LA. Great.
That's my, I say my friend, Brandy. See, we've been talking. I've never met her, but ever since I started this whole Instagram, I just recognize when she's on there.
Yes, I recognize. Hey, Brand, I've seen she listens to the podcast.
She's a very, I would like to say friend, but I guess I can. She's a friend that I've never met, but she's just very, but I enjoy talking to,
it's your online cousin?
The people. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's my online cousin. That's it. You know, I mean, this consistency. There's a few people I talk to.
Yeah.
You know, this because they've always been on and I just say, let's talk. Let's hear it. I like hearing from you. This support. They give you support.
Yeah.
So thank you. I'm waiting for you to get the one that I saw.
Which one? Just point.
I can't see. I don't have my glasses.
I can't see.
It was from a young lady.
What does it have to do with?
She said, I'm struggling with everything. Do you see that one?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. So I actually had been.
See, when I see messages like that, that's when I start sending voice notes. Not in a creepy way, but I'll just be like, if it's like someone who I interact with, because there's like some people who consistently listen to the podcast. Okay. And they're engaging and like they'll share things. So I'm like, okay, I appreciate
Well, let me tell you what I was trying to do with her. I actually went in and DM'd her.
Yeah, I will respond sometimes personally.
Said, is it okay if... Because I thought we were going to record on Saturday. Mm-hmm. If I have Kyle call you, so that we could dive a little deeper, into what is everything. Because it's like shit, everything.
What did they say?
Well, she said fine, but then we had to reschedule.
I'll do a personal call because I like this is. It depends on what it is, but like for me, I don't mind these situations just because in the field of work that I'm doing right now, it helps me better see the needs of like people. So as I build like my referral list or like have my on-call doctors, I'm like, okay, cool. I know I need someone who deals with this or like, hey, this is someone who I know who specializes in, trauma or something or say grief. So like if someone is like, hey, I'm struggling with everything, I would say, cool, I've got this great life coach. It's, are you able to pay, let's just throw random, it's like, are you able to afford a $50 consultation and session, like an assessment in a session, if that's something that you can do, or if you can't, like, it's one of my good friends, I'll either pay it myself or we just negotiate a deal. I will refer that person, and it's like, hey, what is your kind of like here's an intake form or like an interview process, or like just in our technical or our words. Well, and doing an assessment and seeing like what's going on. Because sometimes I feel like people when they do say they are struggling with everything, they just need to see it or hear about it from a different perspective.
Well, I'm going to try to give her a little different perspective.
Okay.
Now, I don't know the answer to any of these
questions. Did she tell you what she was struggling with?
No, I didn't dive down. I wanted to actually do it where you were on the phone with her and we could talk. And
I just feel like that is so like
invasive.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't going to put her face on or use her name, but I thought it'd be easier to understand, questions.
Yeah. But still,
because there's certain things I would ask. I'd say, well, do you have kids? And I decided to follow her, and she allowed me in, and I think she did have a kid. Okay. I'm just like, well, do you have kids? Are they healthy? And if they're healthy, okay, well, that's not a struggle. And are you employed?
Yeah, you have to help people sometimes.
And if you're employed, well, that's not a struggle.
Things to be
maybe you're not making the money you want, but maybe you are. Do you have a nice place? Are you hungry?
Are you safe?
Do you go to bed hungry? No, I don't go to bed hungry. Well, okay, good. That's not a struggle. When you go to bed, are you safe? Do you have 4 walls and a roof? Do you have some type of protection? Yes, I do have that. Okay, then that's not a struggle. So, and the reason I'm saying this is because I want you to understand that you're not struggling with everything. Okay, you really aren't. There are some aspects in your life that are still very good. I don't know. Are your parents alive? Do you have siblings? Do you have good friends? And if the answer to any of this is yes, well, okay, that's not a struggle. Now, there may be some things that you're battling, some struggles you're going through. We do that. That's what we do.
As humans.
Okay? Now, what you have to do is really don't go with the word everything. Narrow it down. What's really bothering you? What's on your mind? What is your struggle?
But at the same time, you can't. You can't.
And then let's deal with that, because now we can specify it. And if it's a relationship, then we can talk about relationships. If it's financial, then we can talk about how to make more money, or how to save more money, whatever the case is. But don't throw the whole blanket out. Don't throw everything out. What they say, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Okay? You got some good stuff going on in your life. You need to realize that. Take a breath, really. Take a breath and realize that. Okay? Now that you understanding all the good stuff, now we can start to take and chop down the little things that are bothering you, because there's things that bother us. Okay? So.
I get it. I know what it feels like to feel like you're struggling with everything too.
We all do.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. There's times
it happens. Like it's a normal occurrence.
Yes.
Yeah. When I have those moments, I have these 3 journals that I made for myself. I have a release, a replenish, and a respect. And when I have these moments, I go to my journals. And within my release, I release emotion. And it's like where I have my rants, my raves, my notes, whatever's going on. And then in my replenish, that's for me to replenish my spirit. And in there I do, I'll have like a journal prompt. It could be like a random question. And then I write 3 things that I'm grateful for. So that it's that reminder of actually I am good, or hey, I am safe, or hey, my kids are great, or I had a good day. For me, a lot of my struggles, I feel them deep because I'm a very sensitive person, but like I have to coach myself a lot in terms of being like, hey, this too shall pass, or hey, this is temporary, or hey, like this is part of the process, and you knew this was going to be part of the process. You're about to break through, know? So it's, I have that. And then I've got my respect, which is like my mental mastery, where I bring my brain into it. 'Cause I'm like, my nervous system might be all over the place. I might physically be feeling sluggish, but like I can always keep my mind sharp and keep my thoughts, in the positive or more balanced. Yeah. And with that, I usually do like, it says 45. I do. Cool. Yeah. I'll wrap it up with this. I do.
No. We're good. We're good, because I've been reading some of the
Compliments. People want longer episodes.
Want longer.
Yeah, people like it. People like
well, those two things. I just want you guys to know I pay attention. I read all the comments. I try to comment. Sometimes I just can't though, but I'll try. Okay, here's one.
Yes.
What is the one lesson? It doesn't have to be one. What is the one lesson R has taken from you, meaning me, that she applies still to this day? Anything? Any advice I've given you, or any lessons that you've learned from watching me and your mom? Okay.
Let's see.
Do you feel like you parent anyway the way you were raised, or totally different, or similarities? Crossover.
There's similarities and there's differences.
Okay. Biggest difference.
Well, I have boys. You guys raise girls.
Okay. Yeah.
Like there's a lot of times where I feel like I have to make differences because there are differences between. There's no difference in raising a child. I feel like when you're raising children, you want those same same things. But in terms of a boy versus a girl, whoever said that they're the same, you ain't been around boys and girls. Like, they are so different to me. Yes.
Or do you feel like you're the black sheep? At times. Do you feel like you're the black sheep at times?
If I do, it's because I'm on my own journey or my own path.
They don't really know what a black sheep is.
No, I've got a lot of support. Black sheep is like you're on your own.
Like, you done screwed this family so many times.
Yeah, I'm not the black sheep.
Get out of here. Just leave.
Yeah.
I wish you well, but leave.
If I'm ever confused as being the black sheep, it's more so like I just needed to get away and just wanted to travel for a couple of months. I'm not actually the black sheep.
Okay, I need help on how to talk about stranger danger to a 9-year-old. Okay, story on page 2. What does that mean?
So she said a man stopped at my kid's bus stop, got out of his car, and talked to her for probably 4 minutes.
Oh, her child.
First of all, were you watching this?
Well, it sounds like it.
Why? There is no man talking to my son, my niece, my nephew for 4 minutes.
I understand the question.
Okay. And then she said, then he got back in his car and left. I yelled halfway through, so she knew it wasn't okay. But I was at my house watching her. This is her first week going alone.
Oh, she was walking to school?
Oh, she's going to okay. So the kid is at the kid's bus stop going to school.
Got it.
First time. This man stops, talks to her daughter for 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me share one thing. And I saw this on one of the programs, 60 Minutes, 48 Hours.
That just gave me anxiety.
One of those, okay? Mm-hmm. And it was a gentleman who was actually testing this stranger danger lesson for kids to know. What he would do is he'd go to the parent and he'd say, look, I want to, with your condolence or with your consent, I want to go and try to entice your child with my puppy to see if I can get them to leave.
Got it.
Okay. Or to, go over to the car or whatever to see more puppies. And I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like 9 out of 10 kids went. Okay. Yes. So, is
this like a Dateline special?
It might have been Dateline.
I feel like this is a Dateline.
So here's what the lesson was, though.
Watch us set up your kids.
Is you really need to get somebody in your village to test your child. Okay? Somebody that you trust that your child doesn't know or doesn't know well or doesn't know well enough to know if they should come or go. And see if they go with them. Because you talking to them and trying to give them the lesson is great. But if they absorb
you have to actually apply,
and if they really understand it, yes, that's different. And I don't care if they're 4 or if they're 9 or if they're 12. Okay, you need to really invest some time and energy in this because what she's asking, there's no easy answer. But I'd say put the energy into getting second cousin Ronnie, who she hasn't met yet, to come on over one weekend and let's put it to test. Okay?
Also, I would say kids, if she's on doing this bus stop with one of her friends, it's a good conversation I feel to have duos, where you're feeding off of each other. You watch each other's back. There's different ways to have these conversations. So where it's not just okay, don't talk to anybody that you know, but it's when you're with your friend, this is how you handle it when you're solo.
So I just got a quick little.
But I do like the idea of test, like.
So yeah, here's a way that you can test. You don't have to call Uncle Ronnie. You can get one of the other parents that maybe your child hasn't met yet.
Well,
listen, and say, look, I want you to go and test my child. See if you can get her to walk with you away with the puppy.
This was Boz in like the second week of school. There was one day where I needed my friend, one of my mom friends was like, oh, I'll pick all the kids up from school today and I will take them to go like get food and then we're going to come to the house.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, that's fine. But I was like, I didn't communicate with Boz that he could go with you.
Right.
I need him to know that he has my permission. I know he's going to be excited and just want to go with you. And he'd be like, sure, I'm getting in your car.
Yeah, but that should have been a test though.
Oh,
let's hear how it turned out.
I went up to the school.
Okay.
Still. And I told Boz what was going on.
Yeah.
And the way I explained it, I was like, okay, I know that you feel safe with so-and-so, but like, I need you to know unless I tell you that you're going home with someone else or I notify your teacher, I'm picking you up.
Test it one day.
Don't get in anybody else's car.
Test it one day.
Oh, my kid
was one of your girlfriends.
No, my kid, Boz is getting in his friend's car. Boz is like, oh, I'm going with my friend. Your mom said, cool. Let's go, friends.
Oh, then you need to reiterate with him.
But know what it is? It's too much. It's too familiar of a face. But I have been with situations with Boz where so-and-so will be teasing and be like, oh, you're going to come with me. And he'll be like,
okay.
No, I'm not.
Test it. I'd say great question from the parent.
I think that is a good question. Okay. And it's like, how do you deal with the different age groups? Because yeah.
Well,
but it's also like, who is this man hanging around by the kid bus stop? Is that something? Do you need to notify the bus driver as well, or like, how do you report that? Oh, and it was her first time. I pray that goes well. I know I would be a nervous wreck when my kid is going to school by themselves. Oh, here's one. How do you get out of a controlling relationship with nothing?
Yeah, I didn't understand with nothing.
So it's like, I'm assuming like you get out of this relationship and you have nothing.
See, I was assuming that the person is offering nothing.
Yeah, like it's kind of like
they're in a relationship with.
I came home with my kids and what was 3 boxes and some luggage.
Yeah,
I ended up having to leave a lot of stuff.
Okay, here. Basically, how do you get out of control?
How do you get out of a controlling relationship?
If the man is not going to kill you for leaving, leave. If the man's going to kill you for leaving, call the police, call your father, call your brother, call your Uncle Vinny, and leave.
Still leave.
Okay?
There are programs.
Look, you by yourself with your kids, with whatever support you have, whether it's friends, family, whether it's thick or thin, are better off going through the struggle. Okay? You're not going to be the first mother of kids that did it alone or did it without a man. You will not be the first. You will not be the last. You don't need this knucklehead who's controlling, who's got nothing, who's not bringing anything to the table. Look, you can be broke by yourself. You don't need a man to be broke with, so if he ain't bringing anything,
find a friend. Your friend will make sure your kids are fed if you dying. But that wasn't my answer. No, but I would say if you can.
This is your show today.
No.
I just got a little excited. I just hate to be. I hate seeing people in situations that they stick around and it's not.
First of all, we have to be reminded that we have family. We have always had family. And we've always not just had family, but had family support.
We do.
And within that family support comes stability. It comes housing.
Right. And I understand that everybody doesn't have
job accessibility. So there are a lot of privileges that we have had.
I understand.
So
but I can still live the life of other people that I've grown up with that haven't had the same kind of support, that have still made the same proper decisions.
So
get the fuck up out of there.
Yes, but to balance that, for people who don't necessarily have those things, there are programs out there that will help you with relocating for your home.
I knew there was a reason I was having you on this week.
Why?
Teach them about the programs.
Yeah, there's programs out there. There's a lot of programs for people who are coming out of like domestic violence situations or like addiction, like just recovery. And
how about alcoholism? Any programs
recovery? Yeah, and there's a lot. Some of them are government funded, but like they will help you with your housing, like do your housing for a year. But within that, you have to follow certain guidelines with the program and job stuff, but it's if you are trying to get out, make a plan. Start calling these places. They are available, but
state by state or county by county.
County by county, state by state, it's different. If you want to relocate to another state, if you need to get out, like because you're fearful for your safety, like there's different solutions. But if you're trying to get out of a controlling relationship, I would honestly say make a plan, save every dollar that you can.
And even if you can't save a dollar.
And even if you can't save,
leave.
You just find that one person.
Leave. Especially if it's abusive.
Yeah. You got to get out. And it's okay to like accept help from others in those shelters because they have more experience than I do. But one day I will be able to answer all these questions and be like, cool, what do you need? Oh, call so-and-so. Or, hey, let me help place you. That is my goal.
Read this one.
That is my goal. My 6-year-old daughter was pushed down at school by her 6-year-old boy cousin. Uh-oh. His behavior at school is escalating. Oh, well, first of all, I don't like bullying. I don't like violence.
No, that's not bullying. That's kids playing. Come on, stop tripping.
But the way she said his behavior at school is escalating.
That's
like, is there
she's
something
the mother
going
of the
on?
child that got pushed down.
They're also cousins. If Boz and Ryder are at the playground pushing each other, I'm like, what are you guys doing? But at the same time, they really fight like siblings.
Sometimes your mothers are a little bit too sensitive.
But I don't know this situation. I don't know if the kid's got issues going on because she's specifically talking about his behavior and it escalating.
So, sure she is. That's because her child was the one that was pushed down, got the skin knee.
Yeah, I want to say, you need to talk to either your brother or your sister, first of all, about their kid. And if you're fearful, like if you have concerns about his behavior or bullying at school, like that's something you can bring up at school. Like,
I don't know. I don't take it that serious. Maybe I'm,
Oh no, bullying's a big issue.
They're in the playground playing, pushing, just like Ryder just had the little push fight with her girlfriend. They were friends 5 minutes later.
Yeah, but it's still a conversation.
Well, okay, a conversation. That's it. It's not to.
I don't know. I just feel like there might be more to the story.
Okay, all right. If there's more to the story, then I don't know. But the bottom line is, talk to your nephew.
Talk to your nephew. Okay? Talk to their parents. Talk. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't even.
You gotta have
unless it's something crazy.
Unless there's the only reason why I say that is because they said it's escalating. That'd be me talking to Cheyenne and Zach or talking to Corey. Like, what's up with your kid?
I don't have to go do this on you. Okay.
No. Yeah, that's all they got for me, y'all.
All right.
There was more, but I didn't get them from Cheyenne. This is where we're at.
Let me see.
Do you have any questions for me, Dad?
Do I have any questions for you? Did you have a happy childhood?
I had a really happy childhood.
Yeah.
She should open her own business, boss up, and get out of mom's house.
Oh, boss up. I like that.
Well, okay.
Well, you're in the process of trying to open your own business.
Like, how about I'm good where I am? Let's see what this person's going on. Damn. I hate when people got private pages because it's so crazy. People will talk so much shit to me and then I go look at it. I'm like, you are in a trailer.
No, so wait, we're talking
Leave me alone. Like, I'm okay with my stuff.
Oh, don't be offended.
I'm not offended.
We talked about when it was a good time for a person to leave the house.
Okay, I went back home temporarily because I had a house, which I gave up because I moved across the country for my family, which didn't pan out.
Yeah.
I've been home for a few months. Not a few months, since, what is that, March. So this person who talked about getting out of a relationship with nothing, I came home with nothing but me and my kids and needing help. So
now she's saying, boss up.
I've been in school. I'm in school. I've got I'm a partner on a children's book deal. I've got an app coming out. I've got all my pregnancy stuff.
Okay, so
and then I also have a consulting company with my partner overseas. So it's like, in terms of bossing up and all this stuff, that's not an issue. And I'm out. I'm getting out of the house. I'm getting out of the house, y'all. If y'all think I'm there by choice, like, I'm not.
She tried to come to my house with her 2 kids. I was like, no.
I did not try to go to his house. I knew that. All right, let's wrap it up.
We got enough time. We got enough in there for Maria.
Oh, but I am moving, you guys. I'm so thankful, and this man was part of my solution. So I'm very happy because I was literally going to have to move out of state.
But anyway, we got a 3-bedroom place for her. There's no yard, but
it's fine.
But it's bedrooms.
There's a cul-de-sac and there's parks. And I like to get out the house with my kids. So y'all don't have like an outro? You guys don't do anything?
We're supposed to say something. What did she say? Okay, good night, you guys.
Thank you for tuning in to Unfiltered.
Wait a minute. Aren't you supposed to say follow me?
Yeah, I'm going to get there. Thank you for tuning in to our Unfiltered Kitchen.
The podcast.
I'm spitting all over the place, aka the Kyle Show tonight.
Yeah, it's the Kyle Show.
Send out some major prayers and blessings and well wishes to Chey and Zach as they continue to enjoy their 1-year anniversary. Woot 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 woot. Don't forget to tune in on your favorite podcast platform and or YouTube and look up our Unfiltered Kitchen. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notifications and review.
All right. You got
and well, I do have another podcast.
Yes, you're pretty good. You're pretty good.
Oh, and I'm starting another podcast.
Oh, let me just say one thing too.
Mm-hmm.
So the last 4 or 5 episodes were pre-recorded. So now we're live. So I know some people had mentioned a couple things that they wanted to talk about or us talk about.
Mm-hmm.
If you can start to recycle those, I thought I could go back and memorize them, but I can't. But if you can recycle them, because we're going live now. So if you give me some input on what you'd like us to talk about, we'd be glad to do.
Leave them in the comments.
Yeah, I love the comments. I go and read them all the time.
Comments.
Sometimes I reply. Sometimes I throw my hands up. Bye, guys.
Thank y'all.
Oh, you can follow me at, you go first.
Well,
did you already say yours? Say yours. Where can they follow you?
Kyle Lynn.
I think you did very well today. You had some good advice.
Thanks. Guys, I do have Instagram. I don't really use it as much lately, but I'm trying to get back on there. But I'm on Snapchat lately.
Yeah, you're trying to do the Snapchat. I can't understand Snapchat. I tried. I
don't understand social media.
I can't even go in there and see. I see somebody send me a message. I can't even find it to understand it. And then I look at it and then it's gone. I'm like, this doesn't work for me. You guys can follow me at Pretty Boy Floyd 3. Snapchat, I'm called It's Papa Floyd.
It's Papa Floyd.
But
why am I spinning all over the place?
I'll see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.
Our Unfiltered Kitchen.
Chey, I hope we did okay.
Go follow Chey at Chey Not Shy.
Oh, that's right. Follow Chey Not Shy. Okay.
And go tune in to the Think Loud Crew podcast.
Oh, Think Loud. Okay, and then also they have Our Crazy Family.
Our Crazy Family.
And then what's your new podcast going to be?
It's Black Girl High.
Ooh, I want to get high with a black girl. I mean, what'd you say? I'm sorry. We better go now. Can you cut it off?